Darkcast Network is where you will find 20 wonderful shows that'll blow your mind. We've got Fruit Loops, A Little Wicked, and Cause of Death. Murder News and Gone But Never Forgotten will take your breath. Book of Lies, Autumn's Oddities, Crime Time Nerds are sure to inspire. Freaky AF, California, and Reverie True Crime will be what you desire. And then they were gone. ODFM, Octoberpod VHS, Curly Conspiracies, Thrice Cursed, and The Jury Room will pass the test. Beyond the Rainbow, Brew Crime, and Over the Fence. Subscribe and listen to all, of course. It makes perfect sense.
He's Vegas, I'm Ford, and this is Ford in Vegas, a true crime podcast for the ages with two friends who hate each other. Vegas, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. Nice little evening here in HB.
If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like the video, Show in Vegas. Also, if you're on the go, you can subscribe to this show as a podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're listening to the podcast, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you want, you can watch this show on YouTube. Just simply go to youtube.com/FV True Crime. And while we're at it, FV True Crime is the handle on Twitter and Instagram. And if you listen to the show in podcast form and you're like, you know what, I want this thing ad-free, you can get it ad-free. Patreon.com/FV True Crime. For just $3 a month, you can get this show ad-free. And if you'd like to buy a shirt, you could do so at shopfordinvegas.com. Always remember, we recommend the premium soft tea. You will not be disappointed. This show airs every day on blackjacktv.net. And we are now a member of the Darkcast Network, a network of indie true crime podcasts. So check out Darkcast Network. Vegas, let's get right into it, shall we? We have an action-packed show tonight.
Action Jackson.
And it is the summer of murderous moms. We've been talking about murderous moms on and off for months now, basically since May. And it's come out today that a Connecticut mom, Sonia Loga, she killed her 3 kids before taking her own life. Sonia is 36. She was identified by Danbury, Connecticut police as the woman found dead from suspected asphyxia by hanging in a shed behind a single-family home on Whaley Street, if you live nearby, where cops responded for a well-being check about 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday. Roja's 3 children, identified as 12-year-old Junior Pagnon, 10-year-old Jocelyn Pagnon, and 5-year-old Janelle Pagnon, were also found dead in the residence. Pending an official autopsy, preliminary findings indicate that Miss Loga strangled her 3 kids before killing herself. However, this is still an active investigation. The Danbury police said in a statement to the New York Post, Loga and her 3 kids lived at the home with Loja's husband, Pedro Pagnon, and his adult brother, neighbors said. Autopsies were said to be conducted this morning. It was Pagnon who frantically and tearfully called 911, then collapsed to the ground in the yard after discovering the kids' bodies. Pagnon had left the house about 6 a.m. on Wednesday morning to head to his job in a landscaping. Head to his job in landscaping. His brother, who also lives in the home, left for work about 4 hours later, but didn't see anything weird. Loga ran an illegal daycare out of the house.
That's a red flag.
There you go. Which was fitted with playground-style equipment in the backyard. She had told parents of the kids she took care of not to drop them off on the day of the killings.
That's another red flag.
So that is a premeditated That's what that sounds like. Pagnon couldn't get in touch with his wife, so he requested a wellness check and got to the house before the cops arrived. A couple minutes later, he came out and he called 911. He just fainted to the ground, the neighbor said. Cops later found La Jolla hanging in the shed in the backyard next to a large swing set. Pagnon shared a heartbreaking post on social media last night showing a black ribbon with the Spanish phrase that translates to "Rest in peace. Now you are in a better place with God." He also shared photos of La Jolla and the children in happier times. That's kind of strange, including a picture of the mother holding Janelle in her arms above a birthday cake with a lit candle as the other children look on. Neighbors were left shaken by the crime, saying the quiet family lived there for about 4 or 5 years. Vegas, it's a little weird that the husband would post pictures of the kids with the mom during happier times. And I say that because she killed the kids. It's a little strange. That's a little weird. I could see posting pictures of the children because, again, they're the innocent victims in all of this. But to include pictures with the wife, a little weird. What say you?
I mean, maybe he didn't have any pictures of just the kids.
Then
without
don't
the wife.
post anything.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but you also have to realize he's going through grief, right?
This is one of the stages.
He just lost his 3 kids and his wife. Now, I
Yeah.
understand the wife killed the kids,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you're not going to hang yourself and kill the other kids
I
a different
wouldn't.
way.
I'd have a lot of heat with the wife right now to where I wouldn't be. Unless I'm putting up pictures and I'm saying this puta ruined my life. That would make sense.
But you haven't had time to, I mean, it's the next day or the next couple. You haven't had time to process it.
Then let's stay away from social media then.
No, I agree. It's just like the people that put on social media, like, after like something's happened, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And they put everything out there. And it's like, no, how about you just like sit back,
Take a step back, breathe a little bit.
Yeah. Like if you died, if you died tomorrow,
I would expect you to post immediately grieving.
Yeah. If you died tomorrow, I probably would take a little bit to post like that you passed away.
One neighbor asked, what was she thinking? Whose property abuts up to the house, who saw the cops take La Jolla's body from the shed. So, yeah, we'd say hi and wave, but they kept to themselves. They had parties on the weekends, picnics, just family. They kept the yard nice. They built that shed. Mayor Dean Esposito characterized the incident as a, quote, truly horrible event, end quote, that rocked the Connecticut city. In the coming days, mental health and counseling services will be provided through collaboration with the Danbury Public Schools and the city of Danbury. Esposito said in a statement, our community grieves for the innocent lives taken from us. We will get through this together, a lot like COVID. My only issue with this story, Vegas, is that the father posted pictures with the wife holding the kids of happier times. The happier times, they kind of go out the window. And you kind of have to forget about the happier times when she kills your kids.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Allegedly kills her
I'm
kids.
sorry. Well, they didn't strangle themselves.
Well, probably not.
And she wasn't hung by a robber or a thief or anybody else.
But
pretty evident.
Yeah, but
she also told the parents, hey, by the way, my illegal babysitting business here, don't bring your kids tomorrow. No mas, we're closed.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, she was planning on doing
I'm
something.
reminding you of that because you're getting ready to talk about how this is an alleged incident. And I just wanted to remind you.
Well, it is alleged.
That it was premeditated.
Well, it's still allegedly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You love to use the word allegedly.
Yeah, because that's what happened. There's
I'm
no
allegedly going to
definitive
kill you.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a threat. That's different. But it is allegedly because she has not been convicted of any crime yet.
You can't convict her. She's dead.
Well, obviously, but I mean, they haven't done their investigation. So who knows?
Well, we know she died from asphyxia from a hanging job.
Yes.
And we're going to find out that all the 3 kids died from being strangled. And then we're going to know who did it. And then we'll be able to officially stop using the word alleged.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't know about you, but I'm sure there's some killer out there that could have hung her and killed her kids by asphyxiation. You don't know.
I'm going to kill you by asphyxiation.
I'm sure you will. You've tried many times. My neck's just too big to get your stupid little hands around me.
Wow, you know what? You might be onto something. I might have to use some rope. A man who, Vegas, you'll like this, allegedly
there you go, please.
Killed his wife.
Thank you.
During their honeymoon, has been charged with murder. Bradley Robert Dawson allegedly killed Christe Chen, his wife, of only 5 months in Fiji.
I can relate.
At the Wasawa Islands Resort. Yeah, this almost could have been your story, Vegas. Vegas kills wife at Mexico Resort. Where did you go?
Mexico, yeah. Okay.
Cancun. Mm-hmm. A Tennessee man accused of killing his wife while they were on their honeymoon is being charged with 1 count of murder. Bradley Robert Dawson allegedly killed Christe Chen while at the Wasawa Islands Resort on July 9. The officer of the Director of Public Prosecutions said Wednesday in a release, the case will be heard before Justice Rayeza Hamza of the Lautoka High Court in Fiji. Per the release, Dawson is being kept in custody in Fiji, and his next court date is August 18. According to WREG, Dawson is in jail without bond and could face life in prison if found guilty. Dawson's 38, Chen was 36. They traveled to Fiji for their honeymoon, and Dawson's lawyer previously confirmed to Fox 13 Memphis that Chen's body was found inside a hotel room, though he said he could not confirm the manner in which Chen died. Dawson maintains his innocence. Of course, his attorney told the outlet. The murder allegedly happened at Fiji's Turtle Island Resort, a luxury island, Vegas, where it's $3,500 a night.
Jesus.
The Wasawa Islands advertises pure indulgence, relaxation, and romance
and
at
murder.
one of the most sought-after destinations in the world. A little side of murder. Lawyers for Dawson and Chen's family did not immediately respond for requests to comment. A friend told the Daily Beast that Chen was a pharmacist and Dawson, a non-for-profit IT employee, tied the knot in an intimate ceremony in Memphis on February 18. The date marked the first time that many of Chen's friends had met Dawson amid their whirlwind romance, according to the outlet. The newlyweds decided to wait until July to take their honeymoon. Dawson has since been suspended from his position at Youth Villages, a non-for-profit for children. The organization told Fox 13 Memphis in a statement, quote, Bradley Dawson was an IT professional at Youth Villages. He has been suspended pending further information. It is our understanding Miss Chen was his wife, and our condolences go out to her family, end quote. Turtle Island Resort told people that we could confirm that an incident took place between a couple at the island on July 9, which has resulted in a tragic outcome and charges being laid. We cooperated fully with the police, who conducted a thorough investigation and have now left the island. Out of respect for those impacted and given it is an open legal matter, we cannot provide any further comment at this time. We are deeply saddened by the event and send our sincerest condolences to Miss Chen's family and friends. So this resort only can take 14 couples at a time. Like, this thing is pretty nice. And its past guests include Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey, as well as Britney Spears and Kevin Federline.
Well, $3,500 a night. I know you could afford it, but most people can't afford $3,500 a night.
That's an expensive night.
Yeah. So, I mean, these people had money. It's curious that how he allegedly killed her. If he did it like...
Well, I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh, it says it.
Her family has said that her body was so badly beaten that they could not take it back to the U.S. She had to be cremated in Fiji and then sent home in a jar.
Well, I'm curious what she did to piss him off so much.
Really? I know.
I mean, I'm not saying it was right to beat her by any stretch.
That would be a tough sell.
However, I want to know why he got so mad. Like, did she flirt with somebody else? There's only what you said, 13 couples. So
they can only take 14 couples at a time, and that's
13.
That's if it's booked completely.
Well, that's true. So you're assuming it's a very small resort. It's not thousands of people or hundreds of people. So I'm curious if she, maybe looked at somebody else.
So Dawson claims that his bride's death was an accident, according to his attorney.
Well, of course it was an accident. You didn't mean to kill her. You just beat her senseless.
I mean, that's
a
vicious beating.
Well, yeah. But it could be by accident. You don't mean to kill her.
We could try. You and I could try to reenact it after the show. I'll beat you senseless and see where the line is. And we'll come back next week.
I could probably take more than she could.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
In more ways than one, you might be able to take more than she could.
All right.
Chen's family plans to take civil action against Dawson if he is not held criminally liable for the death, and have not ruled out legal action against the exclusive resort.
Well, of course they're going to sue.
Well, I mean, you might be able to because the resort knows that something happened. So if there was like a big blow up, a big fight, a big brouhaha, and, who knows? She could have asked for help. The resort didn't step in. I mean, to be beaten like that and to have nobody hear it, that'd be kind of weird.
Well, it's probably a big resort. Just because they could only have 14 couples max doesn't mean it's not a big resort.
There's probably some seclusion.
I would think, because if Nick Lachey and, all those people, Jessica Simpson and them went there, it can't be, very busy.
Dawson's attorney, Iqbal Khan.
Who?
Yep. Insisted that the death looks like an accident. That's what he's insisting. Meanwhile, Chen's family said that his body was so badly beaten they couldn't get it exported back home. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a serious beating.
Yeah, I'm surprised they couldn't just,
It's sad.
Yeah,
The newlywed had been found by a butler, because they have butlers in this resort, of course.
Yes.
The newlywed had been found by a butler in a pool of blood, dead from multiple traumatic injuries, including blunt force trauma to the head. Now, the husband, who's innocent, he went out about his day, and they ended up tracking him down later. So, because he's innocent, and he did it on accident.
Listen.
Like, if I push somebody, if I hit somebody or I push somebody and they hit their head, and it really was an accident, I'm calling 911, I'm getting help. I'm going to take whatever fall I have to take, because I didn't mean to hurt this person. But when you beat someone so bad that they can't even export the body, and then you don't even call 911, the body's found by a butler while you're out gallivanting on a private island, it's got fucking problems.
Maybe. It doesn't.
Why
doesn't
are
look
you
good.
Why are you always on the side of the most vicious and vile humans?
Listen, I'm not.
I'm just curious.
Listen, Linda, I'm not on this.
You've defended Alex Murdaugh relentlessly. You have started a Caitlin Armstrong fan club.
No,
and now you're on this guy's side.
No, I'm just saying you have rushed. How many people that are wrongfully accused?
I'm dotting the dots, bud.
Yeah,
I'm connecting the dots.
Exactly.
I'm dotting my I's. I'm crossing my T's.
Yeah, and how many times has law enforcement crossed their I's and dot their T's in line, and people are in prison that didn't do it and wrongly convicted? Okay,
how many?
Saying, yeah, there's
the number is not. Yeah, but it's
a lot.
Yeah, but it's probably less than 1%.
Yeah, still. But still, you're jumping to see. That's the problem with America today.
I'm reading. I'm reading between the lines.
You are so far jumping to a conclusion.
Guilty people act the way he acted. Innocent people do not.
You don't know.
Again, if I accidentally hurt someone,
have you ever beat somebody and they died and you didn't mean to kill them?
Of course not.
Yeah, because if you did, you might freak out. You don't know what happened. He could have been blind. He could have been blind.
Okay, but
rage.
Vegas, but it doesn't matter. He still beat her to death, even if it was an accident.
I'm not telling you this guy's going to win a Nobel Peace
understand
Prize.
That? You understand that? Even if it was an accident, he still beat her to death.
You don't know if he beat her to death. It could have been somebody else. You are jumping to conclusions,
This
sir.
guy. I'm gonna jump to a conclusion. The conclusion is going to be
guy.
you're out of here.
No, you are jumping to conclusions before we have all the facts. It doesn't look good, but you do not know.
Look good.
It does not look good.
Yeah,
I'm not saying the guy needs to win a Nobel Peace Prize or is going to go on, to be the longest reigning Jeopardy champion. I'm not saying any of that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, he's probably going to rot in Fiji jail, which I don't know. Fiji's a great island, but I don't know how good their jail system is.
Probably hell on earth.
I'm assuming it's not great, but it's, whatever. But he's going to get his day in court, and his lawyer, what I don't know his name, I'm not going to pronounce it because you couldn't either.
Iqbal
Khan.
Khan is the last name.
Ichabod Crane.
Khan.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Ichabod Khan.
Yeah, Ichabod Kamana. He's going to try to tell this that it was he didn't mean to do it. It was an accident or somebody else did it. Let's go. We'll stay on top as we do.
So are you going to start the Dawson fan club, Jones?
No, see, because you're twisting my words. You're telling everybody that I love this guy.
I'm just
that
calling
I'm
it like
buddy,
I see it.
and we play golf on the weekends.
This is an opinion show. I'm just calling it like I see it.
You're approving. You're a douchebag, is what you are.
Is that what I'm proving?
You're proving you're a douchebag because you just
did you not start the Caitlin Armstrong fan club?
No, I'm not talking about Caitlin Armstrong.
But did you or did you not start one?
I mean, there might be a couple GoFundMe's.
There might be a couple.
Saying.
Yeah,
but this is a different case.
And you defended Alex Murdoch last week as well.
No,
and we have a $1,500 bet that you don't think he had anything to do with the nanny who mysteriously fell down the stairs.
Well, yeah, she could have fell. Ivana Trump just fell down the stairs.
I'm
and
hoping
died.
you fall down the stairs after this show.
Yeah, but I'm not going to die.
I would hope so.
No,
I hope not.
The only if I fell down the stairs, the only reason I would die is because I had a heart attack. That's the only reason.
One could hope.
Yeah, you wish.
Charter Communications, you may know them. They own Spectrum. A Texas jury has ordered Charter Communications to pay $7 billion. That's B, like Bravo. $7 billion in damages to the family of an 83-year-old grandmother who was robbed and murdered by a cable repairman who arrived in the company's van while off the clock. Charter, which owns Spectrum, and I'm sure Vegas is going to back them up big time, was also deemed responsible last month for $337.5 million in compensatory damages.
How much did this family get?
$7 billion.
That's asinine.
So for damages for the December 2019 murder of Betty Jo McLean Thomas, negligence cases like Thomas rarely go to trial and usually settle out of court and out of the public eye without the company admitting to any wrongdoing. That's often been true even when consumers were assaulted, tortured, raped, or murdered. In a written statement this week from Charter spokesman Richard Ruggiero, the company said it would appeal the verdict. The law in Texas and the facts presented at trial clearly show this crime was not foreseeable, and the plaintiff's claims of wrongdoing by Charter are categorically false. Roy James Holden pleaded guilty to Thomas's murder and was sentenced to life in prison. Thomas's attorneys said that Holden had lied about his past jobs and Charter hadn't verified his employment. Had the company done so and discovered the lie, he would have been disqualified from being hired. And chances are, Betty Thomas would still be alive. At Charter, court records show Holden had racked up disciplinary actions and taken pictures of driver's licenses and credit cards at the homes of two elderly female customers. He asked his operations manager for money. He requested mental health intervention through Charter's employee assistance program, yet he continued to be sent on field calls. Holden was scheduled to work at Thomas's house on December 11, 2019 at 1 p.m., according to the incident report by the Irving Police Department. He returned the next day and murdered her. For Thomas's family, this case was not about the money, said Chris Hamilton, the family's attorney from Hamilton Wingo LLP. It was about putting the incident into the public record and making sure it wasn't a slap on the wrist case where everything is swept under the rug. During the trial, details emerged that shortly after Thomas's murder, Charter sent an overdue bill that included a $58.94 charge for Holden's work. That bill was sent on to a collection agency. In March of 2021, Charter tried to force the family into arbitration by submitting documents to the court that showed Thomas had agreed to the company's terms of service, which included an arbitration agreement, by checking a small box that she paid her bill online. The documents showed that she checked that box 4 times from August to November of 2019, then also submitted a document that included Thomas's signature on a work order for the December 11th repair, which was also included in an arbitration agreement. But that work order, which should have been signed after the job was completed, was signed at 12:59 p.m., just a minute before Holden was scheduled to start the job. When Thomas's family members saw the signature, they knew it didn't belong to her, Hamilton said. It was simply signed Betty, B-E-T-Y. Thomas's attorneys also contacted Thomas's credit card company and found another discrepancy. She paid her bill over the phone, not online. So we knew they weren't telling the truth about that, Hamilton said of Charter. The online terms of service documents also were copyrighted in 2021, 2 years after Thomas's death. Damages in arbitration, Hamilton said, would have been equivalent to Thomas's final bill of about $200. Charter says we are committed to the safety of all of our customers and took the necessary steps, including a thorough pre-employment criminal background check, which showed no arrests, convictions, or other criminal behavior, nor did anything in Mr. Holden's performance after he was hired suggest he was capable of the crime he committed, including more than 1,000 completed service calls with 0 customer complaints about his behavior. End quote. So there's a lot to unpack there, Vegas. It sounds like Charter acted like the big bad billionaire company, because that's usually how they act, trying to force Betty's family into arbitration. It didn't work. I don't think they're gonna that these totals, these number figures, these dollar signs are gonna hold up, because it's an awful lot of money. But it's pretty evident that there was some negligence on Charter's behalf.
Well, the family definitely doesn't deserve $7 billion, nor do they probably deserve $375 million or whatever that other settlement was. The family probably deserves something. I would say, I mean, if I don't know Spectrum's hiring practices, but if he passes a background check, then that, to me, that's all that if he passes a background check and drug screen, to me, then he's good to go. Now, he lied on his application, which is a federal offense, I believe. Is it not? If you lie on an application for whatever reason, you can, if they found that it's a lie, you can be prosecuted for that. Obviously, he's already going to prison. He's already found guilty and going to prison for life. But I don't know. I mean, there were red flags in before the crime. Asking for mental health, asking for, like, he shouldn't be probably put on the road. So I think that would be where they got the negligence from. I don't think them hiring him because he lied about his past gigs. I don't think that's as big as a crime to do $7 billion.
So it's obvious that Charter needs to pay, and they are held responsible for what this guy did because they're the employer. And that's how it works. That's why you have insurance. That's why you take the necessary steps when you're a legitimate company. Charter has to pay for this because not only does this guy do the crime, but he does the crime in a Spectrum van.
Off the clock. But the employer has to pay the piper here. This is just one of those things that you have to do when you do business, because he was their employee and he murdered someone. Yes, but
which was one of his jobs. It's not like he got into some fight with Betty at the gas station and then he killed her. It's completely different. Betty Thomas was a client, a customer of Spectrum Cable. He was supposed to go to her house and fix her fucking television.
And he did.
No, he didn't.
He did. He went back later that night.
Or the next day.
Or the next day to kill her. He went to this.
He forged the completed job signature. So I'm of the volition that he didn't even do it. But it doesn't matter if he did or didn't do it because he killed her.
Well, yeah, obviously he killed her. He's been convicted of murder.
So Spectrum needs to, or Charter in this case, because they're the parent company, they need to pay the piper. Now, I don't think it's going to be $7 billion. That's a little ridiculous. But they have to pay.
But here's my thing.
There's no other side to it.
Unless you find it, obviously if you find that they did a background check and he passed it, because they don't do a background check themselves. They use third-party companies for this reason. You did a drug test, I'm assuming. You maybe not have, I don't know. But if you did a drug test and he passed all his drug tests and his background check, okay, how are they going to know anything's wrong? So if you're going on that basis alone, that they should have never hired him,
no,
because in the beginning it says if they never hired him, this lady would still be alive.
Well, yeah, because he lied on his application.
But he lied on past work experiences.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes. So, but if he still went through his background check and everything checked out, his social security number was correct.
Yeah.
Everything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Spectrum's not going to know that he lied.
But that has nothing to do with him killing Thomas.
No. But what I'm saying is,
Charter is held responsible.
No, but
they have some responsibility for that.
But they don't. But
they do, because they're the employer.
Okay. But it would be if he was on the clock. Okay. If he's on the clock driving the van. Okay, if he's on the clock driving the van and he gets into an accident and kills somebody, yes, Spectrum is somewhat liable because he was on the clock. He was not on the clock.
So just because he's off the clock,
he stole their van to go to this person's house and murder her. How are they going to know that he's going to murder somebody on the clock?
You don't. But this is the cost of doing business when this type of stuff happens. Again, he wasn't in his own car and he got mad at somebody and he killed them in a fit of rage. He killed one of their customers.
Okay.
So this is the price of doing business.
Okay.
But they now have to pay for that.
But he could have killed one of their customers that he never visited.
But he didn't. He killed one that he was at their house.
But you don't know if they were at their house. You just said that all the documents the day before were forged.
But I mean,
that means he never showed up for the appointment.
But he was
But he never showed up. So how do you?
Vegas. She was a Spectrum fucking customer.
Who cares? That would be like me working for Spectrum.
Are you out of your mind?
That would be like me working for Spectrum and killing some other person that I don't know, but they're a Spectrum customer.
That's not what we're. No, but. But that's not what happened. What happened was he was supposed to do a job there. Okay, whether he went there, he did the job, and he left, is not even a part of the conversation. That doesn't matter. He only knows her because she's a goddamn Spectrum customer, and he was hired to go to that house and to do the job. And then if he goes there, he does the job, and he comes back and he kills her. Spectrum has to pay the piper on that. It's their responsibility because he's their employee. He's not a fucking independent contractor that they just hire off the street.
Well, he could have been.
But he's an employee. If he was an independent contractor, they would have stated that. He's an employee of Charter Communications. So this is just the cost of doing business. Now, again, I don't think it should be $7 billion. But the rarity that these incidents happen, they have to pay for that. That's why they have insurance. Like, they're responsible. I'm sorry.
But they're not.
But they are, because he's their employee.
Okay, so but if you look,
didn't just kill somebody random.
Okay, but how many of these times? Okay, how many practices? Doctors, hospitals. Home Depot, whatever. Okay, so obviously, no. Listen to me.
I'm trying.
If I'm an employee at Amazon, okay, and Amazon employs me,
okay,
and I go in there and shoot a bunch of people, is Amazon liable? Absolutely not. This is the exact same thing, and don't you say it isn't.
If I
go to Amazon on my off day,
of course Amazon's going to pay some kind of piper for that. whether it be because of a lack of security, whether it be a lack of, they're going to get sued and they're probably
they're
going to lose.
They're going to get sued, yes.
Yes.
But there have been cases where companies have won because they are not liable. Just because they hire someone doesn't mean they're liable for their fucking actions. I'm tired of America going that way, because that would be like me being employed with another company and then going to this company and shooting somebody because of a domestic incident. Well, no, he was hired here, so guess what? It's the company's fault. No, it's not. It's just like in California, they just passed a stupid gun law that says if somebody gets shot by a gun, they can sue the gun manufacturer. That's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard.
Well, we're kind of rolling off course here, but
it's the same. It's the same concept.
The fact remains.
How is it the company? If he was on the clock, that's different. But if he's going off the clock, yes, he was in the van.
He could kill customers as long as it's off the clock.
I didn't say you could kill anybody. I'm not saying the killing was right.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I'm saying how are they supposed to know? Yes, could they have been found liable because the warning signs were there that he asked for mental help and this and that?
Which
yes.
he did.
Yes.
Okay, so
but other than that, just because he's employed with them doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't hold weight.
Well, apparently it did, because they awarded them $7 billion.
Yes,
so apparently it held some kind of weight.
Yes, and it'll be reversed on appeal.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be in the billions, but I could almost guarantee you that it'll be in the millions.
No, Spectrum will settle out of court because they don't want to. They've
already been through court. They tried.
I know, and it'll go to appeal, and they'll accept a plea bargain, and they'll pay $10 million.
You think it's gonna be $10 million? It's probably gonna be more than that.
Well, whatever. But this family, and another thing, real quick, this family saying it's not about the money. Go fuck yourself. It's all about the money.
So we like to end the true crime portion of the podcast with a cold case because we feel like cold cases put smiles on our faces. And this week, a 2 decades old cold case of 2 different murders in California has been solved through the novel investigative tool of genetic genealogy. Vegas, it strikes again. The first victim was 23-year-old Shannon Rose Lloyd, who was sexually assaulted and strangled to death in her Garden Grove, or as we call it around here, Ghetto Grove, bedroom in May of 1987. Garden Grove Deputy Police Chief Amir El Ferrara said. Renee Cuevas was 27, was killed 2 years later. In 2003, police determined the same man committed both crimes, and his DNA was submitted to the law enforcement database CODIS, C-O-D-I-S. No suspect was identified. Then last year, authorities turned to genetic genealogy, which uses an unknown suspect's DNA to trace his or her family tree. Genetic genealogy made headlines in 2018 when it was used to find the Golden State Killer, if you recall, and we make headlines with it basically every week because that's what solves pretty much all these cold cases now. Genetic genealogy, if you don't know, takes an unknown suspect's DNA left at a crime scene and identifies it using family members who voluntarily submit DNA samples to a DNA database. Police can then create a much larger family tree than if they only used databases like CODIS. Genetic genealogy identified Reuben Smith, who lived in Orange County in the 80s, as a possible suspect. In 1998, a decade after the Orange County murders, Smith was arrested in Las Vegas for sexual assault and attempting to kill a woman. The Las Vegas charges were later dismissed, but a DNA sample was taken at the time of his arrest. That sample was used to match Smith's DNA to the DNA at the Lloyd and Cuevas murder scenes. Smith died by suicide in 1999. Quote, in a statement by the Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer, the justice that every victim deserves was hidden away in DNA, but with advances in IgG, investigative genealogy, genetic genealogy, technology combined with the relentless and dedication of generations of detectives and the talented prosecutors and forensic scientists at the District Attorney's Office, we now know who killed Renee and Shannon, end quote. So unfortunately, Vegas, the killer doesn't face any kind of justice. I guess it's poetic justice in the regards that he killed himself in 1999.
Well, he probably did because he killed these people. And he probably felt terrible about it, and it ate him up. I don't know if he felt terrible, but it ate him up consciously. But with this, have you noticed, I've been seeing on Facebook and different things, John Benet Ramsey, right? the little girl that was killed way back in was it the 80s?
No,
It was the early
94.
90, yeah, early 90s.
I think it was around the same time as OJ.
Yeah, early 90s.
94.
Her father's been out there in the news recently saying that they have DNA. Boulder police have the DNA of the killer, but they refuse to use it in this IgG database to get her killer to justice.
I did see the headline.
So my
But
question:
why would they refuse?
Well, see, so that's my question. My question is, why would they refuse? And what I would think would be because they effed up.
Mm.
I think that they know they effed up, and if they either release the killer, I mean not release the killer, but release the DNA and find the killer and actually know who it is, they're gonna know they effed up. It could have been the mom. They're saying it might have been the mom, and they don't want it out there, or it could be somebody else. But
well, the mom's dead now.
oh, exactly, I know.
Yeah. And the father's probably not too far behind. He's got to be up there in age.
The father, no, I think the father's only like in his 60s.
Oh.
Because I think they were young parents. I think the mother died because
Well, then he's always looked old.
of cancer or something. I don't think the father's that old. But so that's why that all these cold cases, because they have this breakthrough in DNA, but the John Benet Ramsey case still remains unsolved to this day. But they say that they could find it in minutes.
Yeah, so he's 78.
Okay, so he doesn't look that old.
Yeah, he looked older. I mean, he looked like he was, this is him back in
Yeah.
94, right?
Yeah, I guess yeah.
So he's always looked a little on the older side.
Yeah. So, but he's trying to get them to release it, but he's like saying that they know who it is. They just don't want to release it because they know.
Oh,
they
she was
effed up.
murdered in 96.
96. So you were close. 94.
That was close.
But yeah, so that's interesting that this.
You thought the 80s.
Well, I don't know because it just doesn't. In the early 90s, they all run together.
It's actually late 90s, 96, mid to late.
Yeah, mid to late. Yeah.
It's Vegas's favorite time of the show every week. It's your mugshot of the week.
Where crackhead criminals look their absolute best. For the laughs, for the culture. Vegas presents his mugshot of the week.
Oh man, mugshot of the week. This guy, I picked him because he looked a little bit like Napoleon Dynamite.
I could see that.
Yeah, it was a combination between Napoleon Dynamite and what was that guy's name? He's in a baseball, like on HBO baseball sitcom.
Danny McBride.
Yes, that's it.
Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down. Yes, he kind of does.
Yeah.
But this guy, his name is Jason Milofsky. He was born 9/18/91.
He's Polish.
Well, yes, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, first of all, guy, do something with your hair, your mustache. You look like a pedo. Well, guess what, guys? He is a pedo.
There it is.
I don't know if he's a pedo or not, but he does have, he's a male. He's 6'1", 165 pounds, brown eyes, or brown hair, hazel eyes.
Oh, I got hazel eyes myself.
Yeah, even though it looks black hair. But he is charged, get this, with 10 counts of sex crimes. So it doesn't say underage, so he might not be a pedo, but he is charged with 10 counts of sex crimes.
That's 9 more than you.
No, I've never been charged with any sex crimes. I do it legally. Thank you, Tijuana. And this guy, yeah, it makes sense because he has to pay for it because no chick's ever going to sleep with him. I mean, you look at him. I mean, Jesus, he just looks terrible.
That's a great mugshot of the week, Vegas. Thank you very much. And we're going to go right back to Vegas as he has this week's quick hits.
Yes, I do. We got a lot of things going on today. I do want to go to a couple birthdays, two opposite sides of the spectrum birthdays. You'll get that in a second. But Sally Struthers, the All in the Family actress, which nobody knows that she actually worked on that show. All they care about is the starving kids in Africa that she did so many commercials on. Speaking of 90s, she's 75 today.
Wow.
Well, the good news is that she didn't die from obesity, so that leaves some hope for me. Now, Elizabeth Berkley who was
Not much hope.
What?
Not much hope.
No, but she lived to 75. I mean, I'm not even 40 yet, so I got a couple years to go. But Elizabeth Berkley, who's better known as Jessica Spano in Saved by the Bell, or one of my favorite movies, Showgirls. Have you ever seen Showgirls?
Maybe.
You should. You see your titties. She's 50, but
I
damn,
can just Google that without watching the movie now.
I mean, you could,
could.
I mean, the movie's okay. It's not
All right.
bad. It's probably a 2 out of 10. But you have no life, so why not? She's 50. She looks absolutely stunning for 50.
It's not bad as you give it 2 stars out of 10.
Because you have nothing else to do.
Well, yeah, but you're trying to sell me on seeing the movie, and you're like, it's not bad. It's like 2 out of 10.
That's
a horrible score.
I haven't seen it. Just like I haven't seen Striptease with Demi Moore in years, but she's hot too. But back, one of our probably one of the favorite countries that at least of mine and of yours is too, in Japan. A man in Japan was thrown out. He was throwing out the trash in his apartment, and we've been to Japan. They do have trash chutes in apartments, just like we do here. He thought he dropped his cell phone in the chute. The man leaned to check in, and you know what happened? He fell inside. Fortunately, though, the man did find his phone at the bottom of the chute, which means he actually did drop it, and he was able to call for help. I don't know if it's 911 over there in Japan. Probably not. But he was able to call for help, and they did save him.
There we go.
So
it's a happy ending.
Yeah. So here's the reason why I get so many chicks. Okay. The keys to hotness.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Please do share.
Yeah. This is why I get so many chicks. The keys to hotness, a dating coach revealed to yourtango.com.
Hitch?
No.
Oh.
No. It doesn't say his name, but it could be Hitch if that was a real person. The keys to becoming more attractive. This is the keys that I follow, regardless of physical attributes, because we know I don't have any. Here are the secrets.
You're physical, all right.
Yeah, physically
impaired.
Gonna assault you. Be real. That's right. I, myself, Joey Vegas, is very authentic and express myself openly with what you're thinking and how you're feeling.
You're open, all right.
Yeah, like I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. I hate you with a passion.
Be honest.
Lesbian. I'm very, very vulnerable. I'm very vulnerable. The more you let someone in, the more they get to know the real you. That's right. I am vulnerable. That's why you take advantage of me sexually in the bedroom. What?
The women, not me.
Yeah, the women.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah. Not you. Yeah,
No.
you. No. We're hetero.
You kind of hinted that I was.
Well, I was trying to leave it open to the imagination.
Yeah, well, let's shut that down right away. Let's not leave that open. Let's not have that part open. Let's be open, but not that open.
Not that. Okay.
All right.
Well, I definitely live passionately. That's right. Don't put your life on hold waiting for someone. Live your own passions. That's extremely attractive to others. That's what I don't really give a shit. I just do what I want.
There we go.
And I also always see my partner through fresh eyes. That's right. I appreciate them for who they are and what they do. I'm present with them instead of focusing on what they did wrong in their past and what might happen in the future.
Very good.
Yeah. So that's good for you. Now, here's another one.
A lot of quick hits tonight.
A lot of quick hits. Yeah. Me being married for 4 months, we all know that.
4 minutes.
4 minutes, yeah. I've been cheated on. Yeah, but the thing is, I found out. But on here it says you'll never know. Guys, are you pretty confident your woman has never cheated on you? Well, it's not like you'd ever find out anyway, because this is a shocking 95% of women who have cheated did so without their partner finding out. So if your woman has cheated on you guys, you will never find out, except if you're in the 5% like I did. What?
I just said you'll never know.
Never know.
You just do the quick hits and let me do the side.
Oh, let you do the side. Okay,
circus,
sure.
Clown freak
yeah,
stuff.
because as a psychologist put it, women are better liars because they're more pathologically sophisticated. Emotionally, they make plans and have strategies, while men are more impulsive. By the way, 83% of men have cheated without getting caught as well. So men do it, but women are better. That doesn't surprise me. Now, here's something that I don't have to include today, but I will just because I want to. A recent study revealed that 30% of spouses didn't know how much their mate earns for a living. That seems really high because if you're really going to have a relationship, you probably should know how much the other one's making.
Very high.
Yeah, because if they're not making enough and pulling their weight, you should get rid of them. Now, do you have a weird smell? Like that you like that when you smell it, you're like, oh, I love this smell.
Gasoline.
Okay, there's one. Here's a couple. WD-40. You ever smell that?
Yeah, but that doesn't tickle my
No.
fancy.
Now this one is weird. Freshly opened can of tennis balls.
I could see that. I haven't opened a freshly can of tennis balls in a long time, but I could see that.
Because you're not really a tennis guy.
Correct.
The smell when you light a match. Now, I like that one. That's good, yeah.
That's a good one, too.
This one's a little weird. Home Depot. But, I mean, I guess the wood smell.
The lumber. Yeah.
The lumber. That smells good.
The lumber, the lesbians, they kind of blend together.
All right. Fresh asphalt. That one I do.
I thought you were going somewhere else.
Yeah, you do.
Fresh asphalt.
Yes. Yes, fresh asphalt. So, I mean, that's another one. I enjoy fresh asphalt. What is there use of gasoline? That's a one too. Yeah. But I think you could get really high on gasoline and probably die if you smell the two end.
No, I don't inhale it. I just sniff it. I don't huff it.
Mm. Well, if you ever seen a TV show,
I don't smell what the rock is cooking. You know, I don't do like one of those things. I just kind of like, makes me smile. Next.
Okay, good. Well, have you ever seen the movies or the TV shows where they use hairspray to check for the invisible alarm wire so it doesn't trip?
No.
You've never seen a Bond movie where they spray? Okay. No. Well, apparently police in Italy said that two men tried to disable the alarm system at a jewelry store by using hairspray so they could see the alarm beam.
Sneaky.
And it ended up tripping the alarm. Why? Because it's a movie and it doesn't fucking work. The men say they saw the trick on the TV show and they assumed it would work. Now they're going to prison.
If you're watching this show on YouTube, thank you very much, Vegas. If you're watching this show on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to like the video. Also, if you're on the go, you can get this show as a podcast. And if you're listening to the podcast, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you want to watch this show, you could do so at youtube.com/FV True Crime. This show in podcast form is also ad-free for just $3 a month. Become a Patreon member, patreon.com/FV True Crime. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FV True Crime. Shop Ford in Vegas is the place to go to buy a t-shirt and help support the show. As always, we recommend Premium Soft. Lastly, this show airs every day on blackjacktv.net. We are also a member of the Darkcast Network of indie true crime shows. Thanks so much for those guys for listening and accepting us into the family. We appreciate it. For Vegas, I'm Ford. We'll see you guys next week.